certainly our rarest artifact is this Dauntless that you see here. We're now entering the West Wing, which is kind of our World War II area. You may ask, why in the world is a Army Air Corps B-25 here? Well, you'll remember back in World War II, a few months after Pearl Harbor, we are just getting savaged. We're just being pushed across the Pacific. The War Department decided we'd have to change the narrative. So we craned aboard 16 B-25s, Army Air Corps B-25s, on board the USS Hornet. And Colonel Doolittle did a one-way daring raid with 16 of these airplanes, launching from Hornet, dropping a pitifully small bomb load on Tokyo, and trying to land in China. Tactically, it was insignificant. Strategically, it made the Japanese realize they had to defend their homeland. Now that's in April of '42. Naval aviation came of age a few months later at the Battle of Midway. Certainly our rarest artifact is this Dauntless that you see here. This SBD Dauntless, serial number 2106, is the sole remaining airplane to have flown from the Battle of Midway. Flown in the Battle of Midway. It was flown by a Marine Corps crew, which actually launched from Midway Island on 4 June 1942.
Wow.
Battle of Midway was arguably the most impactful battle of the war, short of D-Day. There were larger battles with greater bloodshed, but no battle held more significance, and it was a resounding victory for the U.S. and certainly naval aviation. We sank 4 Japanese carriers in very short order with this Dauntless dive bombers launching from U.S. aircraft carriers. Now, how did we come to this airplane? Pearl Harbor started in December of '41. We fight the war with the aircraft we have. American industrial might built us newer, faster, better airplanes. So the older airplanes came back to the United States and were used as trainers. And I didn't fully appreciate this until I took over the job. But you'll remember when you and I learned to land aboard an aircraft carrier qualifications, we either did it off the East Coast or the West Coast. That wasn't an option in World War II because of the U-boat threat on the East Coast, the Japanese submarine threat on the West Coast. So the Navy trained its carrier aviators in Lake Michigan 12 months a year. So this airplane flew 4 June 1942. It flew some other missions in theater later, but by '43, it's back in the States. And it's a trainer in Lake Michigan off 2 training carriers there. And in '43, a pilot had a mishap and crashed us into Lake Michigan, and it spent 6 decades at the bottom of Lake Michigan, as did dozens of other airplanes. There are dozens of examples of airplanes that have been recovered from the lake. But as they were surveying the debris field in the 2000s, and they looked, and you can see up there just faintly the numbers 2106. You and I call them bureau numbers, serial numbers for your audience. They go, holy moly, that airplane flew on 4 June 1942. So we recovered it. We left this witness mark, which is exactly what it looked like coming out of the lake, minus a bunch of barnacles. And we left this witness mark here. And the small patches that you see represent the hundreds of bullet holes the crew took on their mission on 4 June 1942. And I mentioned earlier why I think this is the best aviation museum on the planet. You can touch history. These airplanes aren't behind velvet ropes or plexiglass. Folks can come in here and literally touch something that flew in the most consequential battle in World War II, certainly in the Pacific.
Some people that may not be familiar with the Great Lakes is that those lakes are so big that they simulate the ocean with currents, waves, all the things that the carriers are going to do out there in the big ocean. And I know for a fact, as well as you do, flying aboard the ship at night, in bad weather, in rough seas, it is not a fun thing to do.
No,
and you know what? They, even if they trained out there in Lake Michigan, I guarantee you they got plenty of training that prepared them for when they had to go out to the big city.
So anyway, we're very proud of our 2106.